During the game against the Chargers, Travis Kelce was injured in the face, but Taylor Swift is now revealing some surprising information regarding the incident. It was a Friday night and the air was thick with anticipation. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers went head-to-head in a game that captured the attention of all who were there. The Chiefs star tight end Travis Kelce was the central figure in the action that took place. As the game progressed beneath the lights, each play became more intense than the one that came before it. An event that was both shocking and explosive occurred when there were just over 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter of the game. Kelce was pitted against Tear Tart, the Chargers' formidable defender, in a head-to-head matchup. Each snap of their fingers only serves to exacerbate their feud. The two individuals were engaged in a heated confrontation, pushing and shoving one another and unwilling to compromise in the slightest. Out of nowhere, Tart, who was visibly annoyed, lashed out in a fit of rage and slapped Kelce with great force across the helmet he was wearing. The impact reverberated throughout the stadium, causing spectators in the stands and viewers at home to gasp in surprise. Tart's aggressive outburst resulted in a penalty being assessed against him. The referee, without any hesitation, reached for his flag and threw it onto the field. The moment immediately took over as the central focus of the game, eclipsing all statistics and tactics and sparking a frenzy of responses. Kelce had only been able to make one catch for a total of 10 yards up until that point. Although it was a relatively peaceful night by his standards, the slap changed everything. Tart remained in the game despite the fact that the officials had a discussion, tempers were running high on the field, and it was a decision that caught a lot of people off guard. The decision to refrain from ejecting him from the game ignited a controversy among fans, commentators, and analysts, each of whom held their own opinion on the seriousness of the incident. The Chargers emerged victorious over the Chiefs when the final whistle sounded, but the drama was nowhere near over at that point. Tear Tart, who was riding high on adrenaline and perhaps sought to further stoke the flames of the rivalry, turned to social media. He made a pointed jab at Taylor Swift, who is engaged to Travis Kelce, by posting the following comment on Instagram: "I'm too swift with it, even in Brazil." The comment was an obvious reference that combined his own actions on the field with a play on Swift's worldwide fame. The response was instant and vehement. Swifties, the Instagram comments on Tart's post were inundated with a mixture of sarcasm, rage, and humor from Taylor Swift's army of devoted fans. In response, one user retorted, "Just so you know, Taylor Swift has more Super Bowls than your team does." A nod to the Chiefs' recent successes as well as Swift's connection to Kelce, it is absolutely terrible that you are getting his fiancée involved in this when Travis and other people are not even mentioning your lady friend, another fan wrote, who is visibly upset. She is not involved in this in any way. She is not someone who plays games with people. She simply observes her fiancé as he plays, just like every other woman does. Is it necessary for you to include her in your ship at all times? She has never done anything to you. The entirety of this situation is truly terrible. The response was immediate and unyielding. Only Taylor Swift's followers have the ability to produce such an overwhelming wave of opposition. It is important to note that Taylor herself was not even close to the stadium on that particular evening. Both the media and her fans took note of the fact that she was not present. Nevertheless, her name was the most frequently mentioned topic of discussion after the game. Once again, the relationship she had with Kelce was thrust into the spotlight for reasons that went far beyond the sport of football. In the days that followed, the moment became an internet sensation, with sports pundits and pop culture commentators providing in-depth analysis of it from every possible perspective. The question that was on everyone's mind was straightforward. Following such a public and physical blow, how was Travis Kelce coping with the situation? At long last, an answer was provided when Taylor Swift herself offered an update to her fans and followers, informing them that Kelce was recovering well from the scare that she had experienced. To the people who had been eagerly anticipating any kind of news, her message, which was both calm and direct, provided the slightest bit of comfort. It brought a small amount of closure to what had been a chapter of the story that was both chaotic and surprising. Make sure to click subscribe if you are interested in receiving the most recent updates regarding this story and want to learn more about it. The event was more than simply a disagreement between the players. The meeting of these two worlds was an accident. The sports community engaged in a discussion regarding the advantages and disadvantages of the penalty, whether or not Tart acted appropriately, and the significance of personal relationships in the constantly developing drama that is professional sports. In the meantime, Swifties gathered together to support Taylor and Travis, protecting their favorite singer from what they perceived to be an unwarranted and unjust attack. When personalities as prominent as Kelce and Swift are involved, it is not uncommon for the line between sports and celebrity to become blurred, as it did in this case. Tart's decision to bring up Taylor's name, Swift's name, was included in his taunt, which caused a storm to erupt, with thousands of people weighing in on the matter on various platforms. While some people considered it to be a cheap shot because it involved an innocent bystander in the conflict, others dismissed it as harmless trash talk, which they saw as an integral part of the spectacle of competition. Everyone was in agreement about the sheer size of the reaction that took place, evidence that demonstrates how closely the worlds of sports and entertainment are connected to one another. For Travis Kelce, the moment was a reminder of the level of scrutiny that comes with fame, especially when your personal life is so publicly connected to one of the world's most famous people. He had previously encountered difficult hits, but the combination of physical aggression and online backlash was a new experience for him, one that was unique to the modern era. The narrative was fueled for several days in a row by the dissection and analysis of every single detail of the slap, every screenshot of Tart's post, and every comment from fans. In the meantime, the Chiefs were determined to put the drama behind them and concentrate on their season, so they reorganized themselves. The team stood in solidarity with their teammate and shut out any distractions in the locker room, which is a common occurrence after a viral incident. However, from the outside, the discussion continued to rage, with fans and commentators repeatedly replaying the slap, the penalty, and the Instagram post over and over again. Taylor Swift's update, which was delivered with the poise that has become her trademark, offered a rare moment of tranquility in the midst of the storm. Fans of football who were only interested in finding out that their favorite tight end was doing all right were able to hear her words, which resonated with people outside of her own fan base. It served as a reminder that underneath all of the hashtags and headlines, there are actual people who are experiencing these stories and coping with the aftermath in their own unique ways. If this exclusive glimpse into the intersection of sports and celebrity has piqued your interest, be sure to subscribe to receive additional content. The story of Swift and Kelce Tart went beyond being a viral moment or a single game. It became something more significant than that. It became a symbol of how quickly sports can spill over into the wider world, as well as how quickly the wider world can become involved in sports. How a single incident can take over social media feeds and news cycles, and how even the slightest gesture, such as a slap, a comment, or an update, can have ripple effects that extend far beyond the field. The slap itself was endlessly replayed, dissected by analysts and meme makers alike, each finding their own angle. Throughout the course of talk shows and internet forums, people discussed the penalty, the decision not to eject Tart, and the responses from both teams. Every viewpoint contributes an additional stratum to the narrative. The Instagram post, which made a reference to Swift, became a flashpoint igniting discussions about respect, boundaries, and the unique challenges that athletes and their partners face. Kelce's experience was not only a demonstration of the strength of fandom, but it was also an examination of her ability to overcome adversity. His supporters, who ranged from devoted Swifties to the most fervent Chiefs fans, rallied around him, pushing back against the negativity and celebrating his recovery. The tight end of the Chiefs had the support of the team members themselves, who were focused on the upcoming games and the objectives that were still within their grasp. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, handled the situation with grace, offering a statement that was both simple and powerful. This statement provided reassurance to fans and shifted the narrative back to what was most important, which was Kelce's well-being. Fans from all over the world were enthralled by the story, which was full of unexpected developments and surprises. It was a moment when the worlds of sports and pop culture came crashing together, when the boundaries between the two became indistinct and the stakes felt higher than they ever had before. The narrative that was created by the combination of the slap, the penalty, the taunt on Instagram, and the update on recovery was just as captivating as any game-winning touchdown or chart-topping single.